being a man in today's world, in today's society, has become a complicated subject, a sticky subject. For example, the challenge as to whether gender exists even only in the mind is proposed by society, that perhaps gender is nothing but, in some respects, an illusion of sorts. And that is the world we're currently in. I'm making this video on December 5th, 2019. It's about 11:30 a.m. Well, wherever you find yourself, I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about my objective to work with men. So while I worked with women for almost 2 decades in the gym as a fitness coach, and men, of course, but a lot of women, I'd like to specifically work with men for this next stage of my work, specifically online through FaceTime, Skype, online apps, stuff like that. The objective is to guide men through some of the pitfalls that I had to find my way through with the help of mentors and coaches. I think that men specifically, before they turn 30, let's say 28, 29, 27, in that stage right there, typically men are going to feel they need to make a decision as to getting married, for example. I think that that's one of the big pitfalls as to, the woman you're with at 27, 28, do you have to marry her? And that is a tension that I felt. And say you don't marry that person. I think that, say you make it past 30 and you're 32 now, I think that in that stage there, it's been said that before the age of 35, or right at or around before 35 years old, that men or people would really experience like a depression of sorts, as the ego and the things that we had to, the world that we constructed, it no longer is working. It's no longer functioning like it used to. The things that we designed within ourselves as an adolescent can only get us so far. But to reach the next stage of fulfillment requires more work, more inner work. That could be meditation. That could be working with a counselor. That could be journaling. There's all types of methods that involve inner work. It could be removing yourself from certain circles that feed certain aspects to you. And I'm speaking in broad strokes here to give you an idea of the importance of this video. See, I don't get in front of a video at 11:30 a.m. On a Thursday for giggles. This isn't a cheap attempt to reach out to you. This is actually something that has been growing in me for some time now. My first all men's group that I joined was in 2014. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It was about 5 years ago. And that's where I began the process of doing deep inner work. As a matter of fact, that's why I feel very comfortable being in front of the camera here and just sharing my story and being real with you, because there's nothing to hide. And I think that when we have work to do, when we have deep inner work to do, we have more ego to sort of hide our vulnerability, more ego to hide our true feelings. On this end of the screen is a person that has just faced a lot of shit, and I only want to work with people that are ready to start unraveling some of the crap. The chances are, if you find yourself going through a breakup or getting rid of a friends with benefits situation, having to walk away from that, having worked on Jordan Peterson's self-authoring, I understand. Maybe you've done some work with the Warrior's Way. Maybe you've done some work with a society. Like, there's all types of you've read The Red Pill or Rollo Tomasi's Rational Male. Maybe you are part of the MGTOW movement, or there's all types of things that there's voices that we as men are hearing and tuning into that say, look, we need to round up and look out for ourselves, because society is not really caring about what happens to men, the people that were born with genitalia that are men, meaning people that identify as men and are like women, and just simple old school type men. I want to work with people like you, because if you take a look at the world around you, there's not too many people reaching out to you. There's Kylie Jenner's lip gloss. There's all types of yoga pants being sold. There's colognes. You do get sold colognes too. There's so many things servicing women in the world around you, and yet your desires, your ambitions, the things that you want as a man are typically considered unimportant. You may even be thrown shame for wanting them. And that's why I want to work with you, to manifest and get into the things that are important to you. I don't see myself as a try hard guy that is so caught up in seeming masculine or trying to be a certain uber male at all costs. I do see the value in masculinity and embodying masculinity. So I'm just giving you a little bit about me and my thoughts on it, so you can take that as you will. But this is my first sincere attempt to reach out to you. Some of my other videos, like The Red Pill and Religion, some of the abortion videos, have all led up to this, why I'm no longer pro-choice, all that stuff, preventing abortion. Like, all of those videos have led up to this moment as far as I see it. And just to be blatant about it and say, like, this is my objective. It doesn't mean I don't train women. I still train women in personal fitness. What I'm specifically saying is that I would specifically like to work with men on an online format. Let's take a look at fitness, for example, working with you in fitness. Let's say you're in Iowa, or let's say you're in New York or California or wherever you are, Florida, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're in India, maybe you're in Germany, I don't know, wherever you're watching this. Let's just say, when it comes to fitness, what I'm able to do with you is work with you online you can access the workouts I'll design personally for you, and that will take care of your fitness stuff. I can also make sure you get the supplements you need to maximize your output, and I can definitely get you on the right direction to increase testosterone. And I know exactly where to guide you to, even if you need to discuss testosterone replacement therapy. So let's just put, the body's actually what I'm really, really good at. That's where I've excelled for so many years. Now, the next subject, let's just say spirituality. We get into that through meditation. And the main thing with that is really dialing in on your own purpose, your own guidance, a deep connection to God. I meditated before I made this video. And really, without that deep inner connection to your own compass, to to your own voice, really, to the voice of God, right? Without that deep inner guidance, you're going to have a very hard time in today's society, because today's society is giving you so many messages through the news, through politics, through the world around you, through people's agendas, through social media, and, girls in spandex, whatever. Like, there's so much pornography, like, there's so much in the world around you that to really become productive and stay productive and work from a place of true objective, you're going to have a really deep anchoring and connection to your inner voice. And that's where meditation can come in, and we'll get into that. Okay. In terms of relationships, like, say, I've dated in the past, had friends with benefits, had a girlfriend, had a few girlfriends, few fun romances. In my experience, like, some of the hard stuff with today's society is it seems somewhat outdated to get into monogamy or marriage or finding a soulmate. And I think that working through that mud of confusion is so important in order to, like, for example, as a man, I think that we sometimes try to fit into a previous mold and be like, okay, well, I got to get married and have the kids and the house. And sometimes we work so hard to achieve those things, all to have it fall apart, have a separation or have a divorce, or, you cheated, she cheated, so there's so many things that tend to happen that we as men are left to really come up with a better strategy and stuff like that. Okay. So those are some of the things that we'll get into in regards to relationships. In regards to business, this is exactly what you're seeing here in front of you. Is we all have to decide the people that we're going to serve. Decide on the people we're going to serve. My decision to serve men is it's a calling. It's an energy that I feel excited to get into the trenches with people like yourself, people like my brothers, to discuss these areas that matter to us. Relationships matter to us. Relationships with our woman, relationships with women matter to us. Achieving certain goals in our body, metrics, muscle, these things matter to us. Our business, expanding our business and dialing in on how to maximize our profits and our expansion, these things matter to us. And also an integrity of self, an integrity that we are in fact listening to our deep inner self. Like, this is important to us. And so these things ignite me. And so I'm sure they ignite you too, or you would have not made it this far in the video. So I'd like for you to let me know if you're interested in working with me. Like I said, I think the age group for somebody ready to talk at this level, for a level of maturity, more often than not is about 32 years old, 34 to 42, something in that range. I can definitely work with older. I'm only saying that sometimes when you're in these age ranges, you tend to have enough hope and energy and desire to change, and ability to change your direction, and enough experience to know that something needs to change. It's not that I wouldn't work with a younger person, like 21, 22, as much as those ages often come from a more of a party type period. Okay, so let's just say after 23, maybe, yeah. But so just, these are not set in stone, like where it's the age ranges are more a decision based on maturity. Okay, because if you're 32 or something like that, you're probably gone through a breakup or two. You're probably tired of bullshit. You need to see some growth in your life. You need to see some change. You need to gain some certainty of where you're headed. You need to have some tools available to you that can help dial in on your career path, and that's what I'm going to offer you. This is my career path, like coaching, and it evolved into this. Like I didn't see it coming really. I started coaching in fitness in 2003, and so the skill set of coaching has grown to this moment here, and I didn't see this coming. My number is 512-994-7328. You can text me. Text me text me the term or your name and say, I'm more interested in the coaching for men. You know, like I said, of course, I'll still be coaching women in fitness and stuff like that. I specifically want to work with men on these areas that I discussed here. And I'm pretty excited to say this. I'm actually going to go train a client right now. So I actually work out and train a client. So, let me know. Peace out. We'll see you next time.